Spins over the title screen. All right.
When we do it, let's make sure everything's up. Make sure everything's
So sexual.
welcome. Good morning, by the way. Holy
Good morning
smokes.
to you, sir.
It is episode 12. It is Friday, April 28th, 2023. This is one day after the first round of the draft that snuck up on me last week.
Yeah.
It's morning time. It's 7 a.m.
Yes, it is.
We've got coffee going in the back.
Right, man.
We have much stuff to talk about. He brought his coffee.
Yeah, man. I might get some of that too, man.
Dude, yeah.
That
we'll
daily
have to do
grind,
it.
baby.
Dude, yeah.
On Main Street.
Of this little small town that we live in, Lancaster, South Carolina. Great,
Yes, sir.
great place. Great place. Dude, the world of sports, man.
So much stuff.
In a week.
If you're a sports fan and you ain't been paying attention, you live definitely under a rock.
Oh, my God.
All this stuff happening, deals, draft, NBA playoffs. I'm about to go crazy.
Half the teams are knocked out of the first round now.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
daggone.
Yeah, a lot of gentlemen sweeps.
Yeah, a lot of them. And only one real
Okay, yeah,
sweep.
we get you a little. You can get a game, man. We just gonna knock you on out of there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. I think we need to go ahead and start probably in the National Football Association or
Yes,
the
we do.
Football League. Okay, so we'll get to the draft, but let's go ahead and knock out first and foremost the big multi-million-dollar man.
I thought you was going Aaron Rodgers, but this is bigger.
Yeah, just a smidgen bigger. Mr. Lamar Jackson is now a $260 million
Yes.
dollar quarterback.
Congratulations,
now.
sir.
Holy smokes.
Congratulations. We got a lot to unpack with that one.
Yeah.
We said a lot of things.
We did. And here's the thing. I still stand by him.
Me too.
Okay, cool.
Me too.
Cool. We're standing our ground, Mr. Jackson, even though you got OBJ and probably will have DeAndre Hopkins in about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And who else got? Zay Flowers? Or that's...
Did they get him? I got to go check and see who they drafted in the thing. Let me open up
because
the
he's
draft board.
now got options on the wide receiver front.
Yeah, he was out of Boston College. That's correct. All right, so let's look at the full draft board of who they got here.
So he's $260 million for what, 5 years?
Something like that. I don't remember the inner workings of the details.
And then $185 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Man. See, that's pretty daggum good, man.
I mean, and that's what he was basically
close
to what he wanted.
Zay Flowers out of Boston College, 5'9", 182 pounds. North Carolina didn't play. Now, they're in the ACC, but we didn't play them during the year last year.
Yeah.
But for a lot of good things about him. So, yeah, he's got him. He's already got, Bateman and Mark Andrews, the tight end.
Yeah.
So they're adding pieces there. And
they got a valuable offense now against a dynamic quarterback like Lamar Jackson. He got so many options now.
Yeah.
And I think what they've been talking about is shifting Lamar into more of a throwing quarterback.
Yeah.
And then you have the option to get out the pocket and run and make a play.
Well, see, now all they got to do now is build up the offensive line, and they should be all right.
Yeah.
Because, they're trying to keep him locked in and not having to run outside of the pocket,
right.
and cause for more injury.
Where's your wood? This is wood.
Yeah, this is wood right here.
As long as he doesn't get injured,
yeah,
they're going to be okay. I'm knocking on wood.
You better knock on the wood for about 15 minutes because I'm not going to lie. That thing is, good God.
Jesus Christ. I'm knocking, man.
That dude
That dude
is hurt. That dude is hurt all the time. But, so offense is looking pretty legit. You got to give him credit. Good job. It kind of looks like what the Cardinals did last year when they went out and got Hollywood Brown and other people. But then you see what happened to them.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe they can just do it better. Do you think smart move for the Ravens, or do you think they should have maybe looked at the trade market and maybe went for somebody else?
They did look at the trade market, and I don't know if they could get a deal to get him away because teams were afraid. I don't know if they was going to get the best deal. I promise you they looked.
Mm-hmm.
And was it a smart move? We don't know.
Right.
We don't know till we know. It was necessary, though. It was necessary because if you have the chance to have a dynamic quarterback like that, then you should go ahead and get him and kind of give him what he wants. Now, they had their reasons to hesitate, Right? And I agree with Ravens.
I'm
You
with him.
hesitate,
I'm with him.
go out there and look because he ain't proved nothing yet. Like we said, he ain't proved nothing yet. But they went out there, they did their due diligence, and that was the best move I thought Ravens had at that time. So you know what? Let's go ahead and lock him on down, put some pieces around him, and go at this thing again.
And the draft, it's very interesting how draft time can change a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, look what you see what all of a sudden the Ravens get done. Seems like out of the fin of the night they get that done.
Yeah.
And then the Aaron Rodgers deal finally goes through. So
Right.
the coffee is ready. Oh
Ready,
my
baby? Get you
God.
some coffee, baby.
But that happens in just all of a sudden. I mean, it happened literally. Did you watch like the NFL live clip where they were Adam Schefter come on and told them that, hey, like this is happening?
I did.
Dude, that was hilarious. It was awesome, but it just happens just that quick.
Right.
And draft time
And
can really hit a
them
lot of
jokers
things.
go crazy, like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah, dude. It's crazy to see how all of this stuff happens. I mean, people trying to trade up in the draft. When it gets draft time, people get crazy and ready to
I
pull
mean, but
triggers.
right before that deal was happening, there was talks of him trying to deal with my 49ers. And I was like, oh my God, my mouth was salivating. I was like, we could go ahead and take him. Come on, I'll take him. Go
Did
ahead.
you see where they're shopping Trey Lance and they're going to go with Brock Purdy?
Yes.
I am very curious.
And they got Darnold from the Panthers.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Because Brock might not be ready at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he has.
So
that,
we
he
don't
had that
know.
Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, man. So they had surgery like at his forearm,
Right,
something.
yeah.
So but they don't know what the time frame on that look like. It's really early, so they don't know if he's going to be quite ready. So they got some, precautionary things in place, like Darnold coming in and just in case and being that backup. But
you trust in Darnold?
he can give me a couple of games. He can give me a couple of games.
Give you
but,
a couple of games
until Brock gets right. That's what we say. And this is the beginning of the season, so he might get away with some games.
Yeah.
But we still have a pretty good offense. We still got pieces. I mean, Darnold can work into that too. It's just, what's his mindset going in knowing he's the backup anyway, So hopefully some good things will come from that.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see because we know who our opponents are, but we don't know where the schedule falls out. So, and it seems like the Rams have got a pretty kind of tough schedule this year again. Great.
How did the Rams do?
They
haven't had any pick. We ain't had no pick either.
We haven't picked. We don't pick until 36 of the second round.
We don't pick till third round.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. We thought
it's okay.
We said
we're gonna make it. We're gonna still make it. Okay.
Well, we traded Allen Robinson a couple of days ago, but we got fleeced. We did, man. We got complete. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. I think the reason they did it was because, like, hey, you're going to pay some of his salary. Thank God. So we'll just take the clearly obvious. I mean, we lost this trade because we got a seventh round or a fifth round pick. I'm sorry.
Tell me this: is the Rams in a mess right now? As of today, are they kind of like, we don't know what we're gonna do yet. We got to do some more stuff. Is it a mess right now?
It's a salary cap mess, and they're trying to figure that out right now. I think that's why, obviously, Allen Robinson comes off the books. You trade Jalen Ramsey. You get rid of a couple of guys like Leonard Floyd is gone, which I hate because Leonard Floyd was a really pretty dynamic linebacker. I know he didn't have like the best year last year, but the whole team didn't have the best year last year. So I don't know. It's a little interesting. But the one thing we don't have to worry about anymore is Aaron Rodgers. We ain't got to worry about that dude because he has now sailed all the way. He's flown across the coast. He is now
over the Great Lakes.
Into the Big Apple. He is with now officially the New York Jets.
Yes, sir.
Jets.
Go Jets, baby.
Jets.
Tell me this: as of today, what do you think? Are they playoff contenders?
Yep. And the reason I say that is because the whole offense scored 7 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
And they were in the running for the division.
Yes.
Until like the last 2 years.
I was rooting for the Jets, man.
I was too.
I was rooting for the Jets.
I am now.
I was playing fantasy football. I had a player. What's the wide receiver name? The tall black guy. Here we go again. The Jets.
Elijah Moore.
No. Starts with a G. Garrett. Is it
Garrett Wilson?
Yes, that's who I
Is
had.
that
Man.
him? Is that Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds about right.
yeah. He did pretty good for me. He was on my bench, but when I had to put him in, he did pretty good for me off the bench.
Coffee is sponsored by the UPS store.
Yes, sir.
We pack, we ship,
Yes,
we
sir.
print.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Go ahead, good sir. I'm gonna top myself off here.
Yeah, but
That sounded wrong.
the Jets become contenders now. They've been putting pieces on there, along with Aaron Rodgers. I said this long before the deal was even made, that the Jets will be contenders when they get Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs in that division. I mean, who's in that division?
Well, they've got Miami, Buffalo,
Buffalo.
and come on, Nate, man. It's the AFC South. Miami, Buffalo, and the Patriots.
Patriots.
Yes.
I don't think Patriots going to hit on anything.
They're talking about trading Mac Jones.
Right. When you have your premier quarterback that you thought was premier quarterback, and then you're thinking about trading him, are you going to be contending? I don't know. It's questionable. Miami, they let me down last year because they did so good. Eight game winning streak or whatever, and they just fizzled out at the end.
Well, the problem is Tua Tagovailoa got his head rocked about 15 times, and he didn't. Yeah, I mean, he missed a lot.
What I'm saying is they could make noise in that division. They could get games.
Well, if you remember in the playoffs, that first round, they actually faced the Dolphins, and they damn near won it with Blankenship or something.
Yeah,
as their backup quarterback.
Right. So
that's good stuff, man.
Good stuff, man.
Man,
gotta give
good.
me some.
Yeah,
but I think they could go in the wild card. They can get to that wild card round. Buffalo Bills, they probably still would win the division, but I think Jets can carve out enough games to make the 5th or 6th in the playoffs.
Do you think the Buffalo Bills would win the division? Because, I mean, I don't know how long term the turmoil is going to be between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
What is the turmoil?
If you remember in the back half of the playoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals, yeah.
Josh Allen could not do anything that game
at
all. I mean, you got to credit Cincinnati, but also Josh Allen, you're a top-tier quarterback in the league. You got to do something, right? Well, when I think it was towards the end of the game, Stephon Diggs went over there and just talks. I mean, you can see he was going off on him.
And I understand the gravity of that moment, though. This is going to the Super Bowl, guys. Like, hey, we can go to the Super Bowl after this game. Let's do it.
Well, I was about to say, if you remember coming into that season, after they got Von Miller and all the additions that they made, dude, they were favorites to go to the Super Bowl. They was
and they was justified because they was rolling. They beat the Bengals, and then they go ahead and knock the Chiefs on the head and go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it was doable. I believe that they could, but they got befuddled that game. And it happens every year. You have these few teams who are supposed to make it to the top, and they have a bad game.
Yeah, no joke.
But I mean, it's a new season. I think they're going to put that stuff behind them, and they're going to be contenders. I think they're going to win the division once again. I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be depends on what version of Tua Tagovailoa you get in that division. I mean, that is going to be a 3-team race, and I don't see the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are making a couple of moves, but there's a lot of stuff up in the air with them. So I don't really know about the Patriots. Maybe they end up being maybe it's the strongest division in the league this year. Who knows?
It could be. Because, I mean, I think the 49ers and the Rams had that thing with the
NFC
Seahawks.
was.
Yeah, well, with the Cardinals, we was the strongest division.
And then you had the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks wasn't doing too hot, but the Cardinals, it was not last year before last.
Yeah.
The Rams, the Niners, and the Cardinals. We
made the playoffs.
We all made the playoffs. We faced the Cardinals in the first round. We faced off in the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
It was just a strong freaking division all the way through.
Right. So you could have the same thing in that AFC South, right? Mm-hmm. You got the same thing, man, going on. So I wouldn't surprise me. I believe Jets will make the playoffs. They will carve out enough games. They could get a game from the Patriots, beat the Miami. They could beat Buffalo. I believe that they got the potential.
I believe they could because they've got a great defense over there in New York.
Yeah.
You add, I mean, if you got to think, if they're making a run for the division and they only scored 7 touchdowns, 7, and they were in the running for all of those games, literally within, I mean, they didn't get blown out really. You gotta expect that they can freaking go out there.
And you gotta touch on this. A lot of games were just kicking field goals.
That's it.
Most of the games.
Their MVP was a field goal kicker.
Right. I mean, you had a lot of games like that. Dallas, some of the Dallas games was just kicking field goals. Although they did score. They scored. They was in the 30s with some games.
Yeah,
but
they always say, "Oh, we're the top offense in the league." You know, really, where's your top offense when the playoffs come on?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they
Yeah.
they always get
You get bounced out. We bounced out twice in the playoffs now, man. What's going on? Dallas?
Twice? I thought it was 3 times. May have been.
I was talking about the last 2 years, but okay,
okay.
yeah. But hey, call it what you want. I mean, wow.
Cowboy. I can't stand Cowboy fans. We the top offense in the league every year.
They walk around like they just won a Super Bowl or something. Like,
and they go like they go on to get a 3-peat or something. Like, dude, you really? You know we're gonna win the Super Bowl next year. You know we're gonna do that. Right? Shut up. I ain't got time for all.
And then after they lose, they be like, "Oh, it's always next year. We still them boys. we still them boys."
We still got.
We lost everything, but we still them boys.
We still got Michael Parsons. We still got that boy, that man, Dak Prescott.
Prescott broke his foot, but we still them boys.
Leighton Vander Esch, all those people. Oh man! So what do you think about Rodgers in 8 instead of 12? I didn't know that was going to be a thing. I saw like Photoshop copies.
So what do you know what happened with the 12? Is somebody already wearing the 12?
I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat.
Maybe he just wanted to put the past behind him.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to have anything to do with Green Bay, anything association with Green Bay. You know what? I'm going to change numbers and everything. Fresh new start.
If you're in chat, tell us what you think about Rodgers, but also, I mean, tell us if you know anything about the number 8 instead of 12. I don't know that.
It's like a Kobe thing, man.
Yeah.
Kobe went from 8 to 24.
Yeah, he's just going back. He going original. He young Mamba now.
I got a question. Are you about to go to the draft, right?
Yeah, right here in a second.
You do it. You do your thing, man. I had a question though, but you can wait.
Oh, okay, for the draft? Is it for the draft?
Well, it's about the number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah, we can go ahead and hit that. We can go ahead and hit the draft. So, the NFL draft, the first round started last night. And boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It was one for the books, man.
Yeah.
It was a draft for the books. Stuff that was never happened has happened. Somebody sunk all the way down. You had trades and deals going on in the draft.
Yeah, I didn't keep a whole long look on that because I was just hanging out last night. But
yeah, what
kind of trades went down last night?
Texas traded up, and I know they traded.
That's
some picks.
how they got Will Anderson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they traded up to the number 3 pick. And I was watching right there live right at the beginning because I'm concerned about the top 15, 20 that goes in the first round. It's very important.
I mean, it's not like you gotta think the NFL draft is seven rounds.
Yeah.
The NBA draft is 2 rounds of 30.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. So I was really concerned with the first top 15, 20.
Mm-hmm.
And, Texas got what they got the first pick and the third pick.
They got the second pick.
Texas.
Texas got the second pick.
Carolina Panthers got the first. They got the second and third.
Yeah. And tell me, Mr. Torrey, what do you think about the daggum Carolina Panthers? Is that what you was going to ask me?
Well, no. It was about his number, but go ahead with your question, sir.
Oh, what's his number?
1. Did you see it?
Is it going to officially be number 1?
I don't know. That's why I was asking you.
Yeah. I think it's like I know they give like the 1 jersey to everybody.
Whose number?
To like the number 1 jersey to everybody that gets drafted. Like you go up and you pick up your jersey and it's like, oh, number 1. That's what it always says. But,
no, it didn't always say number 1 for everybody's jersey, did it?
Yeah, like even on the Madden games, it does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you know who was number 1, right?
Oh, you're talking about Cam?
Yeah. That was my question. Like,
Oh, no. I
don't do
know.
Cam like that.
I have a feeling he'll probably be number 9. Well, Matt Corral's number 9. They'll bump Matt Corral.
But I was a question because I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, don't do Cam like that. That's my
they
boy.
have like a generic number for everybody that comes across the stage.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Bryce Young is officially a Carolina Panther, 40 minutes up the road from us in Bank of America Stadium in the Queen City. Torrey, thoughts on Mr. Young?
He is a dynamic quarterback. He's, pretty much everything that you want a quarterback to be. He can make the big throws. He's got a pretty good arm. He can move.
Evidently see the field like nobody else. Like
that's what he's got good field vision.
That cognition test is good Lord.
He can move his feet. He's pretty quick. He can make plays out the pocket, in and out the pocket. He's everything that you want. He is a Heisman winner. He won the Heisman.
Did he win the Heisman?
I think so. 2021.
Sure, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think they was talking about it. But
it's a quarterback's daggum thing, so probably.
So the only thing that I'm concerned about is the height. He's right where Russell Wilson and what's the quarterback out of the Saints? Drew Brees. He's about the same height as them. Wasn't Drew Brees like 5'10", 5'9"?
Somewhere along those lines, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, I think they said 5'10" and a half. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. I'm like 6 foot. So he's an inch shorter than me, a couple inches shorter than me, and I feel short sometimes myself, but I'm like right at 6 feet. So to me, would the height be an issue? I don't know, man. Usually your quarterbacks are like 6'3", 6'4", a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm talking about Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
Dude, if this dude was 6'3", 6'4", oh my god,
oh my god,
and the Carolina, I would not question the Carolina Panthers
at all.
Bit. The only and that's been my biggest problem with Bryce Young the whole time. That's why I was like, maybe I lean C.J. Stroud, but what does help is that this dude did play in the SEC. And we know the SEC is like the professional league, if there is one. Yeah. When it comes, big time colleges, Alabama, LSU, Georgia. Yeah. He's playing against these guys all the time. Auburn. He gets to play against these guys all the time, and he did very well while he was there. Very well.
Yep.
So, you know what? I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that they made the right choice. And that the Carolina, there's one thing. He's got one heck of a coaching staff to go to now.
He does.
That coaching staff is awesome, dude.
Wow.
Freaking A. The coaching staff's great. They've got a lot of pieces around him. They've been building up the team. He's now got a tight end, weapon in Adam Thielen to go throw to. Not really sure how the wide receiver room's going to break out for them because DJ Moore is no longer with them.
Yep.
I think they did keep Chenault, so I'm pretty sure they might go out and maybe they go out and draft a couple more wide receivers or what. Maybe they go get Josh Downs or Antoine Green. Oh my God, if he got Josh Downs and Antoine Green, oh my God, I'd go to a Panthers game next year.
You a Panther fan? No.
You know what? I used to couldn't stand the Panthers because I didn't like Cam Newton too much. But you know what? I want to see him succeed. I really want to.
Tell me this. As of right now, would you have prime Cam Newton or would you still take Bryce Young? Is that a valid question? Remember, Cam Newton's like what 6'4", 6'5". Remember that height worked out for Cam. He was long. He could see over the line.
Had a bunch of passing issues though. Was very inconsistent.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. Ask me that question this time next year.
Next year?
Well,
after we see Bryce Young.
After the season.
Right.
Yeah, if they get knocked out before the playoffs come. They're in a weak division, too. So
they are.
And they almost won the division this year.
Right. Tampa Bay does not have the GOAT, as was you consider the GOAT anymore.
Did they pick in the first round? Timeout. Hold on. Did the Buccaneers pick in the first round?
I don't remember the Bucs picking in the first round, man. They might have picked late in the first round.
Because if they didn't, then they did.
Who did they pick up?
That Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh, like the second highest ever defensive tackle picked outside of Aaron Donald.
Wow.
And I don't.
They need a quarterback, right?
Yeah, why don't you go get Will Levis?
Why not?
I mean, seriously, he's sitting there.
So Will Levis was, tainted to be on the Colts. They kind of was like, oh, Colts gonna make that pick, and they did not. They went with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So 3 black quarterbacks got picked in the top 5.
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5 of the NFL draft. I don't think that's happened.
No, it's brand new. That's the first time ever.
That has never been happened. Three black quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so we got one that went with number 1, number 2, and number 4. And then you got one of the best defensive players who got picked top 5 in Will Anderson. He went to the Texans.
That dude was already projected to be a high draft pick when he was in high school.
Right.
I mean, people have been just salivating over that dude for the past few years now.
And then he goes to Alabama. He played for Alabama for 3 years. He won so many awards. Just incredible, man.
Yeah, even Clemson had Miles Murphy, which I think is hilarious because we've got a Miles Murphy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But they had Miles Murphy and Brian Bresee, the both of them D linemen that got picked back to back, like 23 and 24, I believe it was.
Wow.
A lot of D linemen going early in the draft this year, but that's kind of expected. I am just really looking forward to seeing 2 guys get their name called, and that is Josh Downs, Antoine Green. I mean, we also got other guys out there as well. This is just the North Carolina side of things. We've got you got Noah Taylor, Rava Hassick. There's one more. I'll think about it in a second. But next year we get to see Drake May get picked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hate that, dude. I mean, I'm going to be happy for him, but I'm going to hate that. I was hoping, maybe the Carolina Panthers would wait till next year because I'd love to keep Drake May in Carolina.
Yeah.
But maybe the Los Angeles Rams can just trade away everything and just get the number 1 pick and let him come to – that would be awesome.
Oh, wow. Really?
Dude,
That's what you want?
I would be at the game opener, like the season opener that year. I would.
Even though they might, lose that game?
That's fine. I don't care. I just want to see Drake in a Ram uniform. Also, the commitment that the Commanders have made to Sam Howell. I mean, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they went out in the 16th pick. They got a corner out of Mississippi State, if I remember correctly. Emmanuel Flores, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's going to be pretty solid. He seemed like he did a really good job out there. Is Emmanuel Flores? Yeah, Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you say that. Jalen Carter.
Yes, that's who I was.
The Eagles trading for Jalen Carter. Michael Parsons was on a live stream and completely flipped out. He says, "Man, I'm sick right now because we already know what the Eagles are. They just signed, and what was one of the biggest reasons that they were in the position that they were so depthy last year? Rookie contracts.
Yeah.
So then you get a guy like that who's going to come in immediately. The Falcons also getting Bijan Robinson out of Texas, who's been labeled as one of the best running backs that we have saw in quite some time. We all know how long running backs last in the National Football League.
Yep.
Not very long.
Probably not even 10 years, man.
Mm-mm. And the Falcons are getting started, so hopefully he doesn't take too many hits because you want to see that guy.
Yeah, I don't really see running backs going high in the draft. Then you got Bijan Robinson and who else? What? There was another running back somewhere.
I'm not really sure. I have to take a look.
Jahmyr Gibbs going to Detroit Lions. He's from Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll know that name for sure.
So that's the other running back that was in the first round. 2 running backs.
The Chargers pick up TCU's Quentin Johnson. That's a good pickup. Jordan Addison. I didn't even realize that he went to the Vikings. Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to be a higher draft pick than that, actually. But, everybody was talking about Jordan Addison as one of the best, wide receivers in the country last year.
Yeah.
Over there at USC over there with Caleb Williams. I was really hoping Josh Downs was at least going to make the first round. I think he goes early second round.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have like a mock draft. We pick fifth in the second round. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, we're fifth on the board, man. Or
Good stuff,
maybe
man.
or maybe we take him. I really want. I love that dude. I love that Carolina Blue, man. And everything that comes with it. But, man, NFL is looking really solid. The draft continues today, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it does.
And more and more updates coming with that next week. I mean, by the time it's time for next week's show, it should be done.
Yeah. It'll be done. Because you'll have some of those, the latter part of it, you'll have those rounds going quick.
Yeah, the same day. They'll do 2 rounds in the same day.
Yeah, they'll go quick.
They'll do like an all-day thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was keeping an eye last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was keeping because Sam dropped all the way to the 5th round, and I was keeping an eye on it throughout the day, and it happened to drop in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be that's a National Football League. I gotta love that place, man. Excited to see it come back, actually.
Right. Yeah, me too, man.
Love college football too, but ready to see the NFL come back and see what I'm actually very excited to see what Bryce Young does up here in Carolina, man. I think it's gonna be fun. Quick thoughts, really quickly before we switch off to the NBA. What do you think about C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson going to the Texans with your former defensive coach, DeMeco Ryans?
Yes, sir. I love it, man. I love it. You got a good defensive-minded coach. That probably can head that up, and you got some rookies that's coming in touted and ready to go, man.
Good defensive coach, but coached under one of the brightest offensive minds in the league too.
Right.
And that's just a perfect storm right there.
I mean, was not let me see who was for Buffalo Bills their coach. What is his name? Come on.
Sure, if you would ask me this 15 minutes ago, I would have been.
What is his name? Buffalo Bills head coach. He came from the Carolina Panthers. So was he not the
head coach?
Yes, of Buffalo.
McDermott.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
He came. He was not offensive coordinator for Carolina Panthers, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, coordinators. That's basically what coordinators are. They are a step below that head coach, whether you're a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator. So I think DeMeco will work really good with the two Houston Texans.
Well, I mean, think about what happened with Sean McVay. Sean McVay was a tight ends coach. Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, and Kyle Shanahan worked under the whatever. I forgot who the head coach was of the Redskins at the time.
Yeah,
that was absolutely horrible, god awful.
Yeah,
Sean McVay gets his head coaching job first. LaFleur and Shanahan follow him there, and then they split up, and then they've been battling it out in the NFC ever since then.
Right.
Look at the Niners and the Rams.
Yeah.
Look at the Niners, Rams, and the Packers with all that. I mean, look at all that stuff. I mean, who knows? Position coaches can come in and do great. I mean, you never know who's really built to be a head coach.
That's right. And so, I mean, to me, I thought the Panthers should have went with C.J. Stroud.
I thought so too.
I that's just my opinion. I thought that would have been a good fit for Panthers, but it is. I have a feeling
we're gonna eat those words.
Think so?
After he got picked, and
I'm not saying that the Panthers not going to do good because they're set up to win the division. Basically, they're basically set up to win the division. So
that they are.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to it. We've got I don't know how many days until daggone preseason starts. It'll be the latter part of I think college football starts first. College football does start first, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just ready for some football, man.
Ready for some football.
But in the meantime, we've got some really good basketball being played. Holy smokes.
Jesus Christ.
Where do we start? Because there's so much to unpack here. Let's start with the Eastern. We've been starting with the West the whole bunch.
I'm gonna go ahead and start with the game. The series, the gentleman's sweep that has happened.
Which one?
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
If we're in the East, I already know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, man. What happened, brother?
That boy Hemi happened. I'd tell you that much.
What happened, man?
Dude, holy smokes!
If you don't know what we're talking about the Cavaliers and the Knicks series.
Oh, I thought you was talking about. I said Hemi for the Bucks and the Heat, but okay.
No, we're gonna start with your team, buddy. Yeah. And you know
I got
what?
a basketball or something around here somewhere. There's a Kyrie hitting the shot over there.
I was wrong. Let me tell you, I was wrong. I thought Knicks was gonna take it in the 6. I was wrong. My bad. They took it in the 5. The gentleman's sweep. Wow. Did you expect a gentleman's sweep?
Mm-mm.
I did not.
No. I knew that the second the Cavs lost game 1, they were in some trouble because it was one of those series, and I knew it was. And I think we talked about it last week or week before last, whichever one it was. That is going to be a tight series. Like we are seeing this now with the Kings and the Warriors. We are seeing that now with the Kings and Warriors. Like these games are close, but the home games are vital.
Right.
Because if you slip up and give one away, oh my gosh, you could drop in a second. So the Cavs let game 1 go, and I was like, well, all the onus is on y'all in game 2. They answered back in big-time fashion.
Yeah.
And it came down to game 3, and they got held to 79 points.
Wow.
Donovan Mitchell.
I feel like Donovan Mitchell disappeared the last 2 games, man.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to the Knicks as well. They played some fierce defense on him and said, okay, everybody else is going to have to beat us. And Darius Garland, I got to give him credit, man. It didn't seem like the moment was too big for him.
Yeah.
He went out there and he did his thing for every single game. He was out there playing his heart out, scoring as much as he could, trying to keep the team ahead. And ultimately, it wasn't good. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley openly said lights were too big for us. Lights were just too big for us. And we understand.
But I don't think I would admit that, man.
Oh, yeah.
What does this say about Mitchell's career? Now that you went from the Jazz, you was playoff contenders in the Jazz, you go to Cavaliers, they get all this, they get you down in there, you get to the playoffs, you're fourth seed, you're doing good, in the season, you get to the first round and you get gentleman's sweep. What does that say about Donovan Mitchell's career? Like where he's headed now?
Okay, so stay with me on this.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
I'm ready. Man.
All right. So a couple of seasons ago, the New York Knicks were in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Were the 4th or 5th seed in the playoffs, high up there, and they went up against a buzzsaw in the Atlanta Hawks. I think they made it to the conference finals. I think that was the year the Bucks won the championship, so they made it to the conference finals that year. That's right, because they beat the 76ers in the second round by a prayer. And that's when they lost that 3-1 lead, I believe it was. Yeah. So, I thought for a second, Trae Young, when everybody was had to get that game last night, he's forced to do a Game 7 against the Celtics. Man, I was hoping that was going to be the case. But the Knicks were playing really great basketball, and they walked up against a team that had been in the playoffs before, and they got beat. Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
Gentleman's sweep out.
Yeah.
I now, a couple years later, the same Knicks team that went to the playoffs then and got gentleman's swept came to the playoffs this year, has the experience, and now has their veteran leader.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only person with playoff experience on the Cleveland Cavaliers is Donovan Mitchell and Jetty Osman. Those are the only two.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. Like, Jared Allen hasn't been in the playoffs. Jared Allen hadn't been in the playoffs. Well, he went once in the bubble against the Sixers, but they got swept.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley's not been there. Darius Garland hasn't been there, but you wouldn't know that.
Right.
Lamar Stevens hasn't been there. Isaac Okoro hasn't been there. All these guys have not been there yet. So my question is now, what do you do next year? What do you do next year? And Donovan, you got to be the leader because you've been in the first round. Now, you've never been – has he been past the first round? I don't know if he's ever been by the first round.
I don't think so, man.
First – maybe a second round series. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I think maybe he went the 2018 year because that was like his first year in the league. I don't remember. So now it's all of it comes to next year. What does the team do? JB Bickerstaff has got to make sure he does some adjustments because the focus for the Knicks defense was all on Donovan. Keep him out the game because if he gets going, the team will get going. And sure enough, that was the case.
Very much so.
Yeah, and then if you get that dynamic duo of Garland and Mitchell going, then it spaces the floor even more. Then that allows Evan to have those slash cuts to the basket or get those easy lobs to Jared Allen in the paint. I didn't think it was gonna go 5. I thought it was gonna go 7. I really did.
I thought it was going 6.
And I was gonna go 7, and the Cavs pull it out. I was kind of hoping on a prayer, but with all the momentum the Knicks had, I said, you know what, I'm gonna say Cavs 7 because I want the Cavs to win.
Right.
And I literally thought it would be a 7-game series no matter what happened, no matter what the outcome of it was.
I mean, it makes sense though.
Right. And now it all comes back to next year. What do you do next year? And if I'm them, you have a great young core. You have a veteran guy in Donovan who, in some ways, and especially in the playoffs, is still unproven. Mm-hmm. Jetty Osman was on that 2018 Cavaliers team that went to the finals against the Warriors that got swept out of the series. But he was there. He wasn't playing, a whole bunch of minutes or anything. He was just young kid. He played just a little bit off the bench. But I'm curious to see what happens with them next year, for sure. Very much for sure.
But now the game that you wanted to talk about.
Woo!
Wow.
That man.
Should I say it? Playoff Jimmy.
He would tell you that's not the case. He's just hooping, but I believe that's.
He's being humble and modest. No. Playoff Jimmy is real. Mm-hmm. He's real.
I tell you, man. What's crazy is that this Miami Heat team is filled with undrafted players. Undrafted.
Yeah.
Undrafted players. And they just knocked out a number 1 seed in the Bucks. And I know they didn't have Giannis games 2 and 3. I understand that. That's great. But they had him 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Beat him there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear no excuses out of them.
You should have extended that series, regardless.
No, I'm sorry. They had him 4 and 5. Not I said 3, 4, and 5, but he missed games 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Came back for 4 and 5. Right.
But you lost the first game. Well, did he not go out the first game?
Yeah, he went out. He was in game 1 for 7 minutes, 8 minutes. No, 11 minutes. I'm sorry. It was in for 11 minutes and put up 6 points.
And he set out game 2.
Game 2 and game 3. They were down 2-1, came back 4 and 5, and they're gone.
That's it.
Yeah. I quite think, frankly, me and you was talking about this while we were playing basketball yesterday. It was yesterday because, that's right. It might be time for Mike Budenholzer to go.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah, we said that. 2-time Coach of the Year?
Here's the reason why I say that. And, when Jay Will on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max mentioned this, and, I got to thinking about it. It's like, you know what? It's kind of like, think of North Carolina's run to the Final Four a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What did it do with Hubert Davis? It kind of glossed over the team, right? The team was absolutely bad.
Yeah.
It was a bad team, but it got hot at the right time, right?
Yep.
When we went into the finals, the Bucks Suns finals, Giannis played out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
He's doing basically what Jimmy Butler's doing, but then, right? They were able to win that series. But we were talking about go back before the championship, the whole season when he signed the max contract, the extension, everything. What was everybody talking about? Is Mike Budenholzer the guy? Because of late game decisions, really bad defensive changes, that he doesn't make a lot of defensive changes. Even Giannis said this, and because Giannis is the ultimate professional. Seriously, this dude is.
Yeah.
He said, because he was asked a question about what was going on with the defense and everything. He says, out of respect for my coach, that's something that I can't really answer. He says, I personally would have liked to have guarded Jimmy Butler more. Okay, well, why didn't Mike Budenholzer make that change? Why didn't he do that?
He made he wasn't coaching right at the end of that game, man.
Mhm. He
not.
wasn't. I don't feel like he was coaching right the whole. Like he had one solid game, and that was game 2, when they didn't have Giannis and they went out there and just blistered him.
He didn't make all the right decisions. Like, why not call a timeout? You got a timeout. Why not call a timeout in the regulation and get something up there?
Did you see where Max Strus was talking about him and Eric Spoelstra? Where like went to the huddle and was like, "Why in the world they didn't call a timeout there? Let's go, boys."
Let me tell you something. Everybody in that gym, everybody watching said, "Why didn't you call a timeout? Get something." And you just got Jimmy. He just showed y'all what to do. He just showed y'all what to do. You do the same thing with who? Giannis?
Yeah.
Giannis could go up there and get that. Tip that in, buddy. You ain't calling no timeout. You just, I'm going to just go into overtime and we're going to win in overtime. No, because Bucks was already defeated. You just let the Heat come back on you, and they got the momentum, and you want to go in overtime with that? And guess what happened? They have an 8-point lead in overtime, and they hold it down. Bad coaching. Bad.
Very
so I
bad.
see to your point why you asked that question.
And only that, I mean, think about let's think about the Utah Jazz a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Who were they? What were they famous for? Winning every game in the regular season.
Yeah.
Number one seed. What would happen? They get knocked out first round every single time. You might be able to win Coach of the Year. You might be able to win all the day. My personal thing, Coach of the Year should be Mike Brown. My personal opinion.
Yes.
For the Kings.
I think he will win that.
Yeah, either him or the New York Knicks coach.
I thought he already won that. Did they not say?
Did he win that this year?
I think so. They already announced some of the awards. Like Defensive Player of the Year is Jared Jackson Jr.
And then they didn't have a named MVP yet, have they?
No. You know they're gonna wait for that.
Yeah, that was the one they're gonna wait for. Like most improved player was Laurie Markkanen, who it's kind of cool. Like in Finland, you have to serve a certain amount of time in the military before the age of 30. That's what he's doing now. I think that's kind of cool.
Wow.
But it's like for like brief period. But he said he'll be back in time. But Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat,
playoff Jimmy.
Who do they play next round? The Knicks. Oh my God,
that's
going to
be
a great
tough series.
Oh
man.
my soul, man! Stephen A. Smith's already saying the Knicks going to the finals. What I think was crazy, I got on Twitter, right, and I saw there was a Twitter page called New York Basketball. At first, I thought it was a New York Knicks, but it wasn't. It's like a sub page. From like a fan account basically, but it's really massively like populated. Like a lot of people really follow that, and they were talking about like he criticized this, he criticized Jalen Brunson. He said the team was garbage. Why is he having so much fun with this?
See there?
Yeah,
See
yeah,
there?
Steven. You dogging your own team, and now all of a sudden you coming out the woodwork.
So you looking like Dallas. That's what you looking like. You look like a Dallas fan out there, Steven.
He is the one thing that he hates. He despises.
You're supposed to be an analyst. You're supposed to see the ahead of what's going on.
Yeah,
Even with your Knicks team.
What's crazy is a lot of people like Kendrick Perkins, Tim Legler, Richard Jefferson. A lot of people was like, "Oh, the New York's making Jalen Brunson." Like, wow, this is actually a pretty solid sign. That'd be a good piece for him. And he was over here. This is it. We should have got Donovan Mitchell. This is it.
Yeah, and as right, they was going for him. Donovan Mitchell would have been a great fit to Knicks too. But
I'll be honest with you. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The Knicks aren't in this spot with Donovan Mitchell.
Wow.
The Knicks aren't in that spot with Donovan Mitchell.
But is that a little bit of biasness after the fact? After you seen what? Because would you have said that before the playoffs?
Probably not. I would. Before the playoffs, I was kind of thinking it. But because, I mean, you look at Jalen Brunson. Brunson was in the conference finals last year in Dallas.
Yeah.
And playing his heart out. Playing great. And
but he was behind what? Luka?
Luka. Yeah.
So, I mean, but he did hold his own.
And when they first signed him, I said, well, let's see if he can take the next step. I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, let's see if he can take the next step. And he took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Like he has taken it and ran with it.
Should have been an all-star.
He seems like a senior player on the team as well. Like he's doing he's like a vet. I mean, look at he got on Josh Hart, tag him in the press conference eating chicken. He said, "Hey man, you don't do that here." I'm like, whoa, I see you, Jalen. Like respect to Jalen Brunson.
Brunson, I'm gonna tell you the intangibles. Brunson is a leader. He makes the right decisions on the court for the best of his team.
Not afraid of the moment.
I'm not afraid of the moment. There it is right there. He could take the shot and take it with confidence. That is what you need to be a all-star in the league. There's some of those intangibles that you need. You can have all the talent and the skills in the world, but are you going to execute it? And that's what Brunson does.
Right. Yeah, I like it. I think he fits good. Let's go ahead and quickly kick over to the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies. 3-2 headed back to LA tonight.
Right. And I think me and you both agreed that Memphis was probably going to take this game 5. I wanted Lakers to go ahead and knock him out, but Charles Barkley said LeBron was too tired. So I'm
not gonna lie, he looked it.
Yeah,
he definitely looked it. And they were what's her name on blonde-headed lady on NBA Today?
Acting like me now.
Shelburne, last name Shelburne.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
She Malika Shelburne, I believe. I don't know, something Shelburne.
There's a young woman that was on there. Yeah.
She was talking about, like, she was sitting courtside and saw, like, LeBron, like, Darvin Ham was going to go for a timeout towards the end of, like, game 4. Mm-hmm. And Braun was like, no, don't do it. And then he looked at him, he said, yeah, actually, matter of fact, do it. And he was like, after the game, he just sat there. He couldn't even put on his shoes for like 15 minutes. He's just tired.
Old, man.
So,
I'm just something that's old.
So, and yeah, I mean, like, even Charles Barkley mentioned it. He's like, he says, LeBron's better than me, but he says, if I ever had, like, a big performance like that before, I would he says, I would call it a flashback game because, I mean, I'm not going to, he said, I'd be crap for the next 3-4 games.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, and I love this. Thank you, Anthony Davis. I got on you a few shows ago, back probably about 5-6 shows ago. About 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
He says, I'm ready to play every single minute in order to close this thing out in Game 6.
And he dropped 31 in Game 5, right?
Something like that.
He dropped 31 for that game.
LeBron only gave him 15, and the rest of the team wasn't hitting on all 2 cylinders. But the problem was they let him get on a couple of runs.
Yeah.
Like, the game was tied, or was right there at 74-75, and then Memphis went on a massive run. Mm-hmm. And then they did another sizable run after that.
Yeah.
And that's what really got you your distance.
Sealed the deal. They just too much.
And so that game is going to be tonight, Game 6 or game 5, right?
No, Game 6
Game
in
6.
LA.
Yeah, Game 6 for the Warriors.
Yes.
Tonight as well.
Must win for the Lakers. It's a must win for the Kings. They got to.
Yeah, Game 3 was must win for the Kings as well.
They did not,
and they lost it, and now they're down.
We agreed that you need to win that Game 3, but they didn't, and look what happened.
I think after tonight, we have our second round match set up: Warriors and the Lakers. I think it happens tonight. I think both teams close out tonight.
I think Kings is going to do it. They're going to make I think they're going to got enough to make it amazing. The last 2 games were close. The last 2 games was close.
Pretty much every single daggone one of those games.
And I think them boys are going to do something, man. They're going to settle Sabonis down because he's been kind of here and there and out of whack and thinking he's going to get off every call. You're not going to get every call, my guy. Stop flopping and play ball.
All that hair flying, too.
You know, like he get touched on the kneecap. Oh, my God, he fouled me. Like, calm down, baby, and play ball. Mm-hmm. I think King's going to do it. I think King's going to extend the series, man.
It would be. It wouldn't surprise me, but something tells me the Warriors 3 straight games at home. You don't, and it looks like Klay Thompson is
I have to agree with you on the back end, but look, I'm going for the Kings.
The Klay Thompson is a buzzsaw right now. I mean, did you see him in Game 5?
I did.
My God, he just.
I mean, they ran him off the tip of the 3-pointer. And so he stepped back and like, you know what? I'm gonna just step 5 feet away and shoot it, and boom, and he let him like, yo, what's up now?
And what was crazy is like, the Kings had a lead up until like halftime, right at halftime. Mm-hmm. But it was like they made a shot no matter what. Steph was gonna knock it down. Klay was gonna knock it down. The lob to Andrew Wiggins, that was a very good lob by Draymond Green to Andrew Wiggins. Good God, that was awesome. We'll quickly cover the other series really quickly. Next round, we've got Denver Nuggets and those Phoenix Suns. How do you look? That's gonna be that the Denver Nuggets seems to potentially be, the way their team is structured, the potential kryptonite to the Suns by depth, height, and they have so many different rotation players they can put in for multiple minutes. And Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have been playing a lot of minutes.
So who's going to stop Booker? Who's going to stop KD? If you stop KD, Booker's going to go off. If you stop Booker and double team Booker, KD might just go ahead and go off. KD's been chilling. I'm telling you, KD was chilling in the last series. Watch out, because KD might just come out and knock you on your head. That's that 1-2 punch that I'm talking about, that you don't know where's it coming from. Booker has had it, because he dropped 47, 30, 35.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dropping, but you never know who's going to get it.
I think they'll probably end up, if I'm the Denver Nuggets, I'm going to start putting some big 3-and-D wings on both of them and make Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton beat you. Double teams, kind of like the Boston Celtics did last year with Kyrie and Kevin Durant, like that.
Yeah,
like that.
How are you going to stop two perennial ring players that could get their own shot? It's hard to stop that.
The same way the Celtics did with Kyrie and KD.
And I believe Chris Paul got something for Jamal Murray, because Jamal Murray been going off.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's good. Ooh.
He's been going off.
That matchup's going to be very interesting, and I wonder if Jamal's purposely just going to like run him around to try and tire him out.
He is.
And DeAndre Ayton versus Jokic. Let's see what you got, Ayton.
Ayton ain't got a prayer in the hoop, man.
Yeah, like I think they're gonna try and make the Denver Nuggets strategy is gonna be like, okay, no matter what happens, stay home on KD, Devin Booker, try to stop or slow them down as much as you can, make CP3 and DeAndre Ayton and Torrey Craig and those boys beat you. Try and make them beat you, and if they beat you, then so be it.
CP3 ain't what he used to be, man. If you got that Clipper CP3, you're dead.
Oh yeah, then it's like,
because if you let CP3 get you, he's gonna mid range it to death.
Oh yeah,
but he just don't quite have it no more. He's a little bit slower. His shots are not falling like they used to. So Denver might have a chance if they got a good game plan.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good series. We already said Warriors and the Lakers potentially.
That's what you said.
Potentially.
Come on, Kings.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. I'm rooting for you. Come on.
I want that purple. I want
purple and
purple,
silver, charcoal.
Purple and silver sky.
Yeah.
Purple, silver.
I'm gonna start wearing purple and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, King. Give me a crown.
Who else? The Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers are now set.
Celtics finally beat the Hawks.
Barely, dude. Oh, my God.
Goodness.
Something tells me that the Celtics could get stopped this series.
Embiid is out, though, right?
Well, he's been nursing a little knee injury.
Right? A little knee injury.
But he's had an extended term. I mean, I think it's going to be like sometime next week.
Yeah.
If they would have won if the Celtics would have beat the Hawks in Game 5, it would have started like this weekend.
Yeah.
So now he has an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good one.
Who you got, Heat or Knicks?
Oh, my God, dude.
Go ahead real quick. Who you
got? Shoot.
I'll help you. I got the Heat. We got playoff Jimmy. He's going to beat the Knicks. I'm sorry. Without Tyler Hero, and they do that, I got the Heat, man.
I don't know. I really don't. I'm curious to see what happened with Julius Randle, because remember, he got hurt at the very end of that game.
He did.
He rolled his ankle again.
He did.
That same ankle he was out with before the season ended.
That could give him problems.
Definitely will probably give him problems. Tyler Hero can't come back until, I think they said, like the earliest would be potentially the finals.
They don't need him.
Duncan Robinson has really
I eat my words. Let me eat. I ate my words about Duncan Robinson. My bad, bro.
Yeah, Duncan's played.
He played. He had to. He ain't had no choice.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson has been doing a very good job.
You got to do your pick, though, man. You sitting there beating around the bush.
I am. I'm trying to sit here and trying to figure this thing out.
Who you got there?
I'm going to say, golly, this better be a 7-game series. This is all I got to say.
I would love for it to be a 7-game series.
I think it's gonna end up being a pick'em.
Pick'em.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pick one now. Go ahead, sir. We ain't got much time, sir.
I'm going to say that Jimmy Butler will lead them and get the series win again, Game 7. But if it goes to the Knicks, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise
I don't think
me.
it would surprise anybody.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it would. But,
Like I said, this is a pick'em series.
But I think Knicks, they proved that they are playoff contenders. When you win the first round, you're a playoff contender.
All right.
Do they have enough to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't think so. They need a little bit more. And then you got Julius Randle. He was inconsistent from game to game, but he nursing something. I think he got it. They got everything in place. You got a Heat playoff that made to the finals in the bubble. You got a Heat Heat team that has beaten the Bucks before in the playoffs. So,
and also not only that, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Heat. Who you got for Sixers and Celtics?
Right. Sixers, Celtics. I think I'm probably going to go. I think the safe bet right now is the Celtics.
I'm going Sixers. Let's go.
But
I'm going Sixers.
I say Celtics, but I kind of want the Sixers. Just because
I'm saying Sixers.
I don't want anybody in the Eastern Conference to win, quite frankly, at this point. As a fan,
buddy. It's
the
okay.
bias is there. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's always next year, man.
Yeah. You know we're going to be there next year, man. You know we're going to be there.
So, I want the Kings to win, but we both know the reality of this thing.
Warriors.
But, so, Warriors beating the Lakers, right?
I don't know. I don't know. That's also gonna be a really good series.
Who's running them jokers off the 3-point line?
Well, I mean, you've got young guards that can do that now. You got like guys like Malik Beasley, Austin Reeves. Don't poo-poo on Austin Reeves. That boy can play. That white kid can play.
He's gonna run Steph Curry and Clay off the 3-point line.
Yeah, they're younger, man. They're younger. They can do it.
So you got the Lakers coming out.
I think it'll be a very fun series. I think the Warriors will probably win.
I agree.
We'll win that, but I think it'll be a very, very good series.
I think so too.
Very, very good series.
If Lakers not on that bull,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a very good series.
Especially if Anthony Davis should take advantage of that moment. Now, don't get me wrong, Kevon Looney's been a very solid center for the Warriors. Done a very good job.
But AD could take advantage of him.
Yeah, AD better take advantage of him.
I hope so.
And
I pray.
I think that series should be the AD coming out party. Seriously,
I'm coming out.
there you go. What do you think of Sixers and the Suns?
Sixers and the Suns
Sixers
in the
and
finals.
Suns. They're
They're in the finals.
The Nuggets and the Suns. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know who I'm going for?
You going for the Suns?
Yes,
Factor feelings.
both.
Oh, okay.
What I say, they're not going to stop Booker or KD. They don't have enough to stop them. So they're going to generate just as much offense as the Nuggets. So Suns got it.
I'm gonna pick the Nuggets.
Ooh, is that the safety pick or that's facts? Like you know that the Nuggets are going to pull this one out.
I don't know how much longer KD can keep playing 38 minutes a game, or 38 to 40 minutes a game, 41 minutes a game.
He's not. Well, I mean, he's not doing as much as he would in the OKC 43 minutes.
I don't know, OKC,
But
he's having to do more than he did in the Warriors.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not as much with the Nets, but I don't think far off.
Right. Okay.
And that's because Devin Booker has really started to take out and go crazy.
And Booker's going to keep going crazy. I mean, they did make it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Booker's going to keep doing his thing. KD doesn't mind. KD going to pass it. Booker's going to get the ball in the ISO and let Booker do it. He's like, I'm good. I ain't got to do too much. So you say Nuggets, I say Suns.
I'm gonna say Nuggets in that one. But I think it could potentially go the mile. It could go.
Think
long.
so?
I think it could go the distance.
I think most of these games coming in the second round are going to go. You're going to see games going 6.
Yeah.
At least you're going to see that.
Yeah, I think it was kind of surprising that we saw as many gentlemen sweeps as we did this.
It was surprising.
But I think now that that's close, I mean, you're seeing these tough, gritty teams now. They're playing. It's going to be fun. It's now 804.
It's 8:05, baby.
805.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time for us to get up out of here, man. This is
this has been great.
Yeah, I was about
man.
to say this is probably one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
That we've done.
When you got stuff going on like this,
dude, yeah, all the way through the NFL, the NBA, all that good stuff. Man,
you called it too, man. Live.
Yeah,
you called it.
yeah.
Good job, buddy.
We've been talking about this live show for probably what 5-6 weeks now.
Yeah,
something like that. It's been a minute. Like,
you called it, man.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in episode 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm off. I'm leaving right here in just a couple of hours.
Enjoy your vacation, brother.
I'm gonna hit me a little vacation.
I gotta go to work.
Transfer portal in the college is going crazy right now.
Always 51 transfers in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's up to 55 as of last night. Up to 55.
What did Sanders say? Like, hey, pack your bags.
Yeah. Well,
pack your
What?
bags.
He is doing what he has to do to flip the roster. This is a team that's only won like 2-3 games over the past couple of years.
Nothing personal, just business.
Yeah, because I remember he told one dude that was like 6'3", 280, some sort of like D lineman or offensive lineman or something like that. He's like, man, I think you're gonna be great. You're gonna do great things. It's just you're not gonna do it here at the University of Colorado.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So North Carolina's gotten some good talent on the basketball side. Good talent still coming in through commitments this year, coming out of high school. Potential reclassification of Elliot Cadeau. It's gonna be fun. Football's slowly inching.
Get it, boy. Get it.
Slowly inching our way. We're almost to football season. It's just I love my football. And not only that, we got the Rams over here on the side as well. But they probably won't do too much. But yeah, football season's coming. We're excited. Let me think. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this on the Apple Podcast after this, because I'm actually, the second this stream is ended, I'm gonna rip the audio and everything and post it on Apple Podcasts. That way you guys can hear all this stuff too. Thank you all for being there. Thank you all for continuing to support us and to watch us. We have been enjoying this. We're gonna do more shows like this. This is episode 12. 13's next week.
Yes, sir.
And dude, we're starting to get up there, man. We're getting up there a little bit,
and we're gonna keep going, man.
Well, we're gonna keep moving,
no matter what,
going
man.
forward.
No matter
what. We have the show is laid out. I'm gonna talk to you, and we're gonna do it. So probably sometime next week. Yes, I'm off. Episode 8 of the NLT on Off Script podcast. We've already got the show laid out. It is ready to go. We're ready to record it, and we're gonna do that. We'll have 13 ready for next week. Another edition of the UNC edition's got to be coming soon. Yeah. Because we've got a lot to do. Oh my God, there's so much to go over. Yeah, busy.
Yes, sir.
Busy. And now we got a new quarterback up the road here. So anyway, y'all, we want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you all for continuing to support us.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
That's it.
I've never done that stuff, like all that stuff.
You got to do it.
If you're still watching us live, be sure and get you a cup of coffee as well, and top that off. I still got to finish off this pot, which I don't think I have too much left. Yeah, and
finish
get ready
off this pot. That's a good one.
That's good. That's good stuff right there. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and for Torrey, I'm Nathan, and we'll see you all next time. Yeah. Woo! Hey, boy.